Imagine this, every single day, an average of 150 people die from drug overdoses related to synthetic opioids derived from fentanyl in the United States. It's a staggering statistic that paints a grim picture of a nation grappling with an unseen epidemic. A silent war fought not on battlefields but in homes, schools, and workplaces, a war against synthetic opioids. These are not your everyday painkillers. They're a deadly class of drugs synthesized in labs and often far more potent than their natural counterparts. Chief among these synthetic opioids is methamphetamine, a drug that has wormed its way into the underbelly of American society. In the shadows, methamphetamine wreaks havoc, leaving a trail of addiction and shattered lives in its wake. It's a drug that's easy to make, easy to distribute, and tragically, all too easy to consume. But there's a new player on the field, one that's rapidly becoming a game-changer. Fentanyl. This drug is no ordinary player. It's a synthetic opioid like methamphetamine, but up to 50 times more potent than heroin. A speck the size of a few grains of salt can kill a grown adult. Now add to this deadly mix the fact that fentanyl is often mixed with other drugs like methamphetamine, and you have a lethal cocktail. A cocktail that's claiming the lives of hundreds of Americans each day. It's a crisis that's not just affecting the addicts but their families, their communities, and ultimately the entire nation. But the fight is far from over. Every day, dedicated teams of law enforcement officers, medical professionals, and community workers are battling this epidemic, working tirelessly to save lives and stem the tide of synthetic opioids. Methamphetamine, a type of synthetic opioid, is a significant part of this problem with an alarming surge in seizures across the country. Early Monday morning, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers in California made a shocking discovery. The day was just beginning at the Otay Mesa commercial facility when officers encountered a 44-year-old man. He was driving a commercial tractor-trailer filled to the brim with a shipment of squash. It was a sight they had seen countless times before, a routine check, one might say. But something about this particular shipment sparked their curiosity. The driver, a valid border crossing card holder, was asked to step aside for a further examination of his cargo. And so began a meticulous examination, a dance of protocol and procedure. But this was not to be a run-of-the-mill inspection. Using non-intrusive scanning technology, a full scan of the tractor-trailer was conducted. The results of the scan raised eyebrows. There were irregularities, anomalies that didn't quite fit the profile of a simple squash shipment. To confirm their suspicions, officers called in a special team. A team of not just humans, but also a narcotics detection canine. The dog was an expert in his field, trained to sniff out the faintest whiff of illicit substances. And sniff he did. The canine alerted officers to the presence of narcotics, setting the stage for a shocking revelation. The officers began to unpack the shipment. Beneath the innocent exterior of the squash, they found something far more sinister. Over 1,400 packages of methamphetamine were concealed within the squash shipment. The total weight of the narcotics seized, a staggering 11,469 pounds. The street value of this illicit cargo? A mind-boggling $18,350,400. A shocking discovery indeed. The officers' commitment to duty, their keen eyes, and unwavering determination had led to this moment. A moment that would surely make waves in the fight against the unseen epidemic of drug trafficking. What they discovered next was nothing short of astonishing. Hidden within the innocent squash shipment, officers discovered an alarming amount of methamphetamine. A seemingly ordinary Monday morning at the Otay Mesa commercial facility in California quickly took a turn, when officers encountered a 44-year-old man driving a commercial tractor-trailer loaded with squash. As a valid border crossing card holder, the driver might have slipped under the radar, yet something didn't quite add up. The officers, trusting their intuition, decided to refer the driver along with his tractor-trailer and squash shipment for further examination. In the secondary examination area, non-intrusive scanning technology was used to conduct a comprehensive scan of the tractor-trailer. This technology, a shining example of innovation in law enforcement, revealed some irregularities. To further investigate these suspicious findings, the officers called upon the services of a narcotics detection canine. The highly trained dog responded immediately, alerting the officers to the presence of narcotics. The squash, it turned out, was merely a facade. Hidden amongst the innocent-looking vegetables were 1,419 packages of methamphetamine, cleverly concealed and ready for distribution. The total weight of this illicit stash was staggering, 11,469 pounds. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the weight of 2 fully grown African elephants. This was no small operation. The sheer volume of the narcotics seized was a chilling reminder of the scale of the drug trafficking problem. The officers' discovery didn't just stop at the sheer weight of the methamphetamine. When they calculated the estimated street value, the numbers were astounding. This massive drug haul, hidden among the squash, was worth a staggering $18,350,400. This enormous figure serves as a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in the war against drugs. It's a battle that plays out daily at border crossings, with officers tirelessly working to prevent these dangerous substances from making their way into our communities. The estimated street value of this massive drug haul? A whopping $18,350,400. This massive seizure wasn't a stroke of luck. It's part of a dedicated effort known as Operation Apollo. This operation, initiated back in late October 2023, is a comprehensive counter-fentanyl effort, primarily based in Southern California, and expanded to Arizona in April of this year. Operation Apollo is a concerted effort to combat the smuggling of fentanyl into the United States. It's not a one-man show, but a collective endeavor, pooling resources from federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial partners. These collaborations are key to the success of the operation, as they increase manpower, foster sharing of intelligence, and streamline efforts to target and intercept drug trafficking. The use of intelligence is a crucial component here. It's not just about stopping trucks and checking shipments. It's about understanding patterns, recognizing potential threats, and acting swiftly and effectively. The operation capitalizes on the use of local customs and border protection field assets, augmented by these various partnerships. And it's not just about seizures. Operation Apollo has a broader goal in sight: to save lives. Every package of narcotics intercepted, every bust made, is a step towards curbing the unseen epidemic of drug overdoses related to synthetic opioids derived from fentanyl. This operation is about more than just law enforcement. It's about safeguarding our society from this insidious threat. The success of Operation Apollo isn't measured just by the pounds of narcotics seized, but by the lives potentially saved. This recent bust, with over 11,000 pounds of methamphetamine concealed in a shipment of squash, is a testament to the effectiveness of the operation. It's a victory, not just for the Customs and Border Protection officers and their partners, but for every individual who might have been affected by these drugs. And so, the fight continues. The dedicated officers, their canine companions, and numerous partners remain vigilant, ready to intercept the next shipment, crack the next case, and save the next life. The operation's effectiveness was on full display with this latest seizure. And it's this dedication, this unwavering commitment, that continues to drive Operation Apollo forward. Following the discovery, CBP officers seized the narcotics, commercial tractor, and the trailer. The driver, a 44-year-old man with a valid border crossing card, was apprehended on site. He was a lone figure in the early morning light, surrounded by CBP officials and the stark reality of his illicit cargo. The man was then handed over to the custody of Homeland Security investigation, marking the start of a thorough investigation. Homeland Security's involvement in cases like these is crucial. Their role is to delve deeper into the circumstances surrounding the arrest, to identify any potential links to larger criminal operations, and to ensure that justice is served. In this case, the driver's arrest was just the first step in a long journey of inquiry and prosecution. The seized items, including the tractor, the trailer, and over 11,000 pounds of methamphetamine, became critical pieces of evidence. They told a story of an attempt to smuggle drugs worth over $18 million into the country, hidden amongst a shipment of squash. The result of this operation was a significant blow to the drug trade, but it was also a stark reminder of the scale of the problem. Methamphetamine continues to pose a significant threat to our communities, causing untold damage to countless lives and families. At the heart of this operation was the dedication and commitment of our CBP officers. Their vigilance and diligence led to this successful interception, and they continue to work tirelessly to protect our nation from the scourge of narcotics. Rosa E. Hernandez, the Otay Mesa Area Port Director, said it best: "Our officers' commitment to duty, excellence, and the safety of our nation is truly commendable." However, it's important to remember that this massive bust is just one part of a larger ongoing battle against the methamphetamine problem in the U.S. And while we celebrate this victory, we must also prepare for the challenges that lie ahead in this relentless fight. Every day, dedicated officers and officials work tirelessly to keep our nation safe. This is a story not only about the bust of a massive drug shipment, but also about the relentless commitment of those on the front lines of this ongoing battle. In a world where the enemy is often invisible, concealed within the most innocuous of shipments, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers stand as a bulwark ensuring our safety. They are the unseen heroes, steadfastly battling against the tide of narcotics that threatens to engulf our society. Let's take a moment to appreciate their commitment to duty, excellence, and the safety of our nation. Their unwavering dedication is truly commendable. They're the sentinels in the night, the guardians at our gates, and the unsung heroes in our fight against drug trafficking. Among these dedicated officers is Rosa E. Hernandez, the Otay Mesa Area Port Director. Her leadership and commitment to the highest standards of service have been instrumental in this fight. She leads her team with an iron resolve, fostering an environment that places duty and excellence at its core. The battle they fight is not an easy one. It's a fight against a cunning and relentless enemy, one that constantly evolves and adapts. But these officers rise to the challenge day in and day out, using intelligence, technology, and sheer determination to keep our nation safe. Their job doesn't end with the discovery and seizure of narcotics. They're also involved in the subsequent investigations, working hand in hand with Homeland Security to ensure that those responsible are brought to justice. And they do all this, not for recognition or reward, but because they believe in their mission and are committed to their duty. It's thanks to them, and countless others like them, that we can rest easy, knowing that our nation is being protected from these unseen threats. So as we go about our daily lives, let's take a moment to appreciate their dedication and commitment. Their exceptional efforts truly embody the highest standards of service. While this bust represents a significant victory, the war against methamphetamine continues. It's a grim reality that the discovery of over 11,000 pounds of methamphetamine within a squash shipment is just a small fragment of the larger narcotics issue that our nation faces. The broader implications of this seizure underline the severity and complexity of the methamphetamine problem. This illicit drug, hidden so cleverly among innocent squash, symbolizes the insidious nature of the methamphetamine crisis. It permeates our communities, hidden in plain sight, often leaving devastation in its wake. Yet this seizure also represents the ongoing commitment of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers to combat this issue. Their tireless efforts, day in and day out, are an integral part of the fight against methamphetamine use. Their dedication, their unwavering pursuit of justice and safety, is what allows us to keep moving forward even in the face of such a formidable adversary. The impact of these efforts extends beyond methamphetamine. It's a crucial component of the broader fight against the opioid crisis that plagues our country. Every package of methamphetamine seized, every individual arrested, is a step towards reducing the availability of these destructive substances on our streets. It's a step towards saving lives, towards a safer, healthier nation. But it's not a battle that can be won overnight. It requires continuous vigilance, constant dedication, and an unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of our society. And that's exactly what the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers bring to the table. So, as we reflect on this significant bust, let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. The war against methamphetamine is far from over, but with each seizure, with each arrest, we're making progress. We're chipping away at this monumental challenge, one package at a time. Every seizure, every arrest, brings us one step closer to a safer, healthier nation.